Good morning, this is Christine. It is Tuesday, November 17, 2015. It's in the morning, and I had another dream last night. Good morning, it is 5:11 a.m., and I had another dream last night. It was unusual again, but then most of my dreams are. Laughing and smiling. It takes place around a camper, and the strange thing is I had another dream about a different camper about 2 nights ago. It was supposedly one I owned or was interested in purchasing, and in my dream for a couple nights ago I was going through a tour of that camper and had someone with me that I was sharing it or showing it to. Someone like a friend or family member was with me. But in last night's dream, I was touring a different camper that was for sale, that I was maybe interested in purchasing. It was nice, and I thought for sure it was going to be really expensive. But instead, the lady showing me the camper said the owner, who was a different person, was going to sell it not for $12,000, the original price that she wanted to sell it, but for $9,000, because she really wanted and needed to sell it. So she was marking the price down. And the camper was only like a year old. The owner was an elderly lady who I saw in spirit was at home in her house, walking around in her kitchen and dining room. She was taking it easy at home. The lady selling me the camper, or showing it to me, I felt in spirit, was this elderly lady's friend or next door neighbor who was just helping the elderly lady out because she was a younger woman and had more energy to do so. There wasn't anything in this for the younger woman. She was just doing this as a friend to the elderly lady. I think this is also why she reduced the price to $9,000. The camper looked like it was worth at least $36,000 or maybe even more. It was a nice camper. The camper had 2 slide-out panels. I don't know if you've ever seen those campers, where you can slide out the kitchen or the living room. That's what it had, 2 slide-in and slide-out panels. And it was decorated inside in all white with a little light to medium blue. Everything was white, the cabinets, the floor, the furniture, etc. And the curtains and decorations were what was blue. Now that I think about it, now that I'm awake, it sort of looked like the sky. The white was symbolic. The white in the camper was symbolic for the white clouds in the sky, and the blue was symbolic for the clear blue skies. This camper was maybe even the sky and my quote-unquote home, as campers are usually a place where people live when they are camping, or they can live in a camper full-time also and make it their permanent home if they like to travel a lot. And I was looking at and was interested in this camper for traveling and for a home for myself. The lady showing me the camper was brown-skinned, like someone from the East. She was not African American, and she had long, straight black hair, like a woman from the East would have, or like a Native American woman would have. The elderly lady she was selling this camper for, I saw in spirit, was skinny, short, with gray hair that was up in a bun, and she was white or Caucasian. She looked like a grandmotherly type. This Eastern-looking woman with the dark hair and the dark skin was very kind, open, and helpful. I found her to be very nice. Later, however, when she and I stepped out of the camper, I found her standing in an open area of a parking lot, a concrete parking lot, by herself, still her happy, cheerful self. But I also saw other white people walking past her and not being so nice to her because of the color of her skin and the fact that she looked different from them. I found it rude, actually, and didn't appreciate it, and I chose to remain her friend and to be kind to her despite how others were treating her. To me, skin color meant nothing. She had a good heart and a kind spirit, and that was enough for me to befriend her and to stay by her side. She ended up going back to the camper, though, and I ended up staying there and walking around more, around this empty concrete parking lot. it seemed like this country that I was in was America, but it also felt like the 20s or the 30s or something like that. It was like old time America. Next, I saw a little girl who was about 2 years old, and her name was Mila, Mila. I don't know how I knew her name, because she never spoke or told me her name, and no one else was there to tell me her name either. But when I looked at her, that was the name that came to me, Mila. She was precious and a bundle of joy, running around and getting into everything, pretty much what a 2-year-old would do. She too had brown skin, and she was wearing a diaper, but I didn't feel like she was this young woman's daughter, the young woman who showed me the camper. I felt like they weren't related at all. I didn't know where Mila came from or why she was there, because she was standing in this alley all by herself, this parking lot alley, all by herself with me. There was no one else around. And it was sort of dark, like the evening was coming on, because the lady who showed me the camper showed it to me in the afternoon, early evening. And by the time the lady left, the sun started going down, and that's when I saw Mila. She was standing there, by herself in this parking lot, but I started looking around for parents for her, and there was no one around. This little girl was standing there by herself pretty much. A part of me felt like she was me, reborn at 2 years old. A part of me felt like she was an adopted daughter that I was about to take in and give a home to, because I saw that she was alone with no family. I know that I fell in love with her, though, and was more than happy to give her a home. She was precious, and she looked again like a younger version of this Eastern or Native American-looking brown-skinned woman with the long, straight, dark hair who had just shown me the camper. Mila was just a 2-year-old version of her, is what it looked like. Then I woke up. It seems like all three of us were tied together somehow. I don't know. But then I woke up, and I felt in my heart that I did give Mila a home and that I did take her in. I just adopted her. I felt like I just adopted her right there off the street. I didn't go through any legal paperwork or anything. I knew I couldn't just leave her there in this empty alley by herself with no parents and no family to claim her. So I claimed her and decided I would take her in and raise her as my own daughter. She seemed happy to be with me as well. I was holding this little girl with her diaper on. She didn't have a top on either. She just had a diaper on. Come to think of it, I don't think she had pants on or shoes either. She was really out there with nothing. Goodness, if this is a spiritual younger version of me, then I think I may have just made peace with my inner child, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I woke up from my dream, and the first thing in my mind that came to me was still the name Mila. For some reason, I felt like I was to reverse this name for its meaning. Mila spelled backwards is A-L-I-M. At first, I thought A-L-I-N-E, align, meaning I am now aligned. A-L-I-G-N-E-D, I am now aligned, inside of myself. But Mila is spelled with an M like Michael, not an N like Nancy. So then I spelled the name again in my head. A-L-I, and then I-M. I broke the word up into two parts. A-L-I, what came to me, stands for alive. And I-M means I am. I-A-M. It then hit me that Mila means I am alive. I am alive again. I am alive again, and that Mila girl, I think, is me. I have been given a new chance at life again. This is what came to me. If this is true, then I am thankful and grateful to the divine for this, for I have been given new life again and a chance to start over in life again. I know there are many new starts that all of us make in our lives, chapters in our lives that we begin and end, so to speak, as we grow and get older. But I have never had a dream like this before, where a little girl was shown to me who I felt was me, reborn. Thank you guys for letting me share, and I hope everyone has a great day, and I will talk to you again in the next video, whenever that is. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.